Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's first stream. So we are picking back up with the PHPOnline project, and I have found a newfound love for linear when it comes to planning these sorts of things. I still use Notion for documentation and stuff, but linear is just really nice to work with and use. I can work with things really nicely here, copy an issue, create a quick feature branch really quickly. It's just really nice. Start it already. Hey everyone, Ben has, Adrian, Dan, good to see you. We are going to be using one of your libraries today. So, what did we do? I'm really quiet. Is that any better for you, Philip? Philip with 7 million Ps, how are you doing, my buddy? Still trying to convince me to use Elixir, are you? Well, you can try, You won't succeed, but you can try. Alright, let me make sure the wife doesn't need me. Yeah, she's fine. She's good. Hey Ben! My wife is watching Grey's Anatomy tonight instead of me. I feel abandoned. Marcel, Michael, how are we doing, young chaps? So, what I've decided... Alright, okay. Session expired apparently. So, hey Nathan, what I did in my last stream was experiment with an idea that I had from watching Laracon. And what I want to do, I'm going to use that as a base for PHPOnline, for the blogging aspect. I'm going to expand it, see how it works. The last bit of PHPOnline I did, I was left feeling really disappointed with what I was doing. It just didn't feel how I'd usually approach anything. So what I'm doing instead, the Laravel project that I had, where we've got all of our lovely domain stuff already, and our tests are sailing. So if we just sail artisan test, we got some tests already from what we did already. We got the example test, which I'll delete, but we've got all the auth tests, the authentication tests, which come with Laravel Breeze. That's great. So that example test, we want to delete that because, you know, don't lie to me. We haven't done anything in there. It's just something you gave me. And then we've got creating a post, and you can show list of posts. So this one, we want to make sure that still passes once we've converted to LiveWire. So let's have a look at that form quick. So if I just go to log in, obviously I can log in. I can't even remember my email address tonight. It's going to be a good night. There we go. So I can create a new post. And I can say, this is a test article for this category. Here is the SEO description. This is a little more content for the page. I can save. I can view. It's great. It works. Wonderful. Next, we need LiveWire. We don't have LiveWire in here yet, so the LiveWire website looking clean and pretty sweet. Let's go get it ready. So get that installed. Pretty sure you could do like a different way as well. Hey Ryan. So let me go back to the code. So in my resources, views, layouts app, because that's where I care about it right now. What I want to be doing is, I'm pretty sure you can you not do like LiveWire styles? Can you not do it like that? Is that gonna like complain at me? I know you used to be able to do it. Let's go inspect, or let's actually view page source. That would be a quicker way to do it, wouldn't it? Okay. Yeah, it does it. Perfect. Evening Craig. And then obviously we want the scripts. So for now, I'll stick it at the bottom because that's where I'm used to putting them. But we'll just see. Is it script or scripts? Scripts. Perfect. Excellent. So now we've got LiveWire all good to go. It's not in the docs. That's quite... Is it further down? No. Well, I've got it. That's the important thing. So one thing I want to double check before I do anything is, have I got Alpine installed? Have I required Alpine in any form? Yes. I've still got some other stuff which I'm not really using, but I'll clean this up after the fact. I'm not really focusing on JavaScript because, yeah, I'm not very good at it, to put it quite bluntly. I can write it, but I don't enjoy it. Right, where's that done? So we've got LiveWire installed. Nothing is broken. Perfect. We can move on. Filament docs. Now I'm not going to be using the admin panel for Filament. I'm going to be using the form builder, I believe. This is where I want to control the layout, the style, and I just want those components from the forms. So, existing LiveWire project. Composer require. And then we've got Tailwind. Tailwind Forms isn't needed anymore, is it? Is Tailwind Forms still needed? That is the question. That is the question. It wants me to install it manually, by the way, not for new LiveWire projects. Okay. Yeah. Love.js, really. I'm just going to grab this. I'm just going to copy and paste it all in because it will just kind of fix itself for me, and I don't have to worry about npm in any way. Yeah. Right. So, what we also need to do, we need to make sure that in our Tailwind, we are adding this to the content. So, down in our Tailwind config, we can add the filament stuff. Danger primary, do I need those? So I'll do it just because we're extending, so I can always like reduce later. It's got the default theme, I just need the colors now, right? And just extend some colors to add that in. Extend. Oh, it's going to bug me. It's got to be above the font family because alphabetical. Plugins. Do I need any? Okay, so we've already got one plugin. I just need to make sure I add in the typography. Then in Webpack, we've got that's all already done. Filament forms in our app CSS. Let's make sure that is all set up as well so that things look good. Okay. So I do need the colors. It makes theming the form components really easy. Yeah, no, makes a lot of sense and it works for me. Then we've got some Alpine plugins. Oh, it's starting to get technical on me. What I'm going to do in the background quickly is just I'm going to watch. So there's my CSS handled. There's Alpine. Ooh, don't want to do that. I want to put it up the top. Group them. I'll apparently do it like this. Oh, okay, that's handy because I actually need that rich text editor and markdown editor. I question everything. What are you on about? Okay, I need to add a stacked scripts. Apparently, so I can go add that. That's all been built so far, so good. My layouts. So this is telling me to add everything up here. So we've got stack scripts. Where does it want it? Below that. Cool. That makes sense. We were saying that LiveWire should be at the top, and as long as it's like async defer or whatever it is you're meant to use these days, I don't see that really being an issue. May as well join those together. Ooh, Import millions of scripts. Right, so let's go have a look. Are you going to die on me? Nope, we're looking good. Nice and fast loading. No issues popping up. Excellente. So, I always publish for config. I don't always need it. Translations, yep, I will also publish you, but later. Okay. Okay, awesome. So, what do I want to start with? First thing is this form. Let's look at recreating this form. So, what we're going to have, get you started, preparing a component, initializing forms. So the component has forms, interacts with forms. Get form schema. And your form is one whole thing, right? Yeah, there was a console error, but it wasn't anything like important. It was, oh, yeah, it's Vue DevTools going. Another version of Vue DevTools seems to be installed. I don't know what I've done. Don't ask me. JavaScript land. I have no idea about a select to issue, to be honest. I haven't used it, so I couldn't really comment. So I'm assuming what I need a component for this form. So we're going to say LiveWire make. What do we want to call this? This is to do with posts. This is our create form. Done. I've already started the repo. So let's go have a look. What we got? Create form. Excellent. So if I come to my app, create this form, eventually what we're going to want to do is replace this completely. So we'll have a LiveWire posts dot create form. So now if I refresh, that's good. And if I come to here, it is there. Perfect. So things are looking and sounding good so far. Next step is to start looking at how LiveWire actually does its magic. So here's our create form. It's a habit doing those double backslashes. I can't help myself. Can't help myself sometimes. So implements has forms and use interacts with forms. So has forms. Cool. We are sounding good so far. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to need that very often, so I'm going to move warp over there. So here is my magical little thing. What I need to do, I need to do unmount this form fill. Okay. Filling the form. Get forms. Right, is that a protected? Yeah, it is. So we're going to have a protected function get form schema. Okay, so we're just basically saying what items are going to be in this form. So for now, I'm just going to do that. Render, yeah, that's fine. Most of that's fine. Markdown editor content, awesome. Default required. Sweet. So let's assess our form quickly. We're going to have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So we're going to have a public string description. What else do we need? I'm just going to follow the docs, to be honest, Ryan. I might not need that form fill, but I'm going to follow it anyway. While I'm learning it, obviously. Then once I've learned it, I can choose how I would like to use it. So, description, content, and I suppose we're going to have a public int category, and we're going to start that with null. So we do need to make that like a nullable int. So that should be fine. So let's look at building out our form. Now, what we need is filling data, getting data from forms, registering a model. So I don't want to do too much. There's tags in, but that's kind of cool. That could be quite useful. Registering a model class. Okay, so I did see something in the docs about layout, getting started. So here's our schema. So I can do a grid make. So our grid is currently here. So you've got a grid with 4 columns. Yeah, I union type everything instead of a nullable type. It just consistency, right? I mean, if I'm gonna be using union types elsewhere, I may as well adopt them. So let's just go to here, and we're gonna say, is it card? I thought it was grid. Come on, make my features find skip side. So I don't want a card, I want a grid. So I can just grid make schema instead of anything, right? Cool, let's try that. Okay, so I can add columns and defaults and so I'm just going to go for the default and see what happens. So I need something like this. So I need a text input. We're going to make that based off of the title. Columns 2. Why has this got a big red line under it? Schema. Oh, schema needs to be an array as well, right? My bad. My bad. Read the bloody docs, Steve. Come on. Okay. So, which side of it is complaining there? There we go. Excellente. So we're going to have that. Then we're going to want to add in some sort of select, multi-select, right? So this is where we need to look at not a multi-select, it's a standard select. Select make. Make. Our options for that are going to be category. We want to pluck out the category. I can't remember what I called it now. Title and ID. So ID title, get. Let's just cast it to an array for now. Okay, we're just going to do a get. And again, that will be 2 columns. Make sure we're not dying. Already has 2 columns. Typing LiveWire public properties. Yeah. Okay. Definitely something I need to bear in mind. So, okay, that's my forms. How do I actually display this bloody stuff? Like, what do I put? What do I put in there? I've got it from the back end, but how do I get it to display? Do I just need to like echo something out within here? How do I get my form to actually start displaying? That is what I need to figure out. Have I skipped too far ahead? This form? Really, is that it? It's in the docs. Cool. Selection disabled, argument to label must be of type string, array given. I see. If I swap around. Nice. Yeah, I'm explicit with everything, even though, you know, most of the time it's already doing it. I'm just like, no, I've got to do it. Okay, so we're getting there. We are getting somewhere. We're getting something to display. Next, we need a text input. We're going to make it, and we are going to do that for the description. And the columns, we want 4. Is there any way I can add options like... I know this is like required condition. Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to that at the end. And then lastly, still doing it, still, come on. So that is not setting to 4 columns. Columns is 4. I don't like reading these docs. I just want to get it done. I'm racing ahead. Racing ahead. Right. Getting started. Return form schema. Then like, yeah, cool. Setting a label. I can set a label. Okay, so I'm gonna go add some labels. Let's add some labels before Ryan and Dan start telling me off. Right, did I name it anything? No, just like title, original as anything. Post title, label, column span, not columns. Ooh. Let's have a look. And then add a label here for post description. Yeah. Can't spell that right, can I? Let's have a look. Boom. Psst, docs. Who needs docs? Labels are auto-generated. I'd like to be explicit. Validation attributes, default values, helper messages and hints. Ooh, helper text. Hint. Hint icon. Extra attributes, disabling. Autofocus. Placeholder. Ooh, placeholders. Love a bit of placeholders. No. Getting carried away, Steve. Right, so next, I need one form thing. I want to add the markdown editor. So, lastly, label for the markdown editor is going to be post content conspan 4. So what's it complain about with make? Yeah, if why learn what I'm doing when you're going to tell me what I'm doing on live stream? You know, you're not making it. You know, not making it make sense for me. Yeah, I've been looking for markdown component for ages, and it's just awesome. We can preview it, and it's just beautiful. A URL to an image. Sweet. So, what should we do? What do we do? I mean, it looks boring as hell right now. It's like, but we'll fix that. We'll figure something out. What I can do for now is say a bye-bye to that form because I don't want it. Basically, I got my. Oh no, I need a submit button. Damn it! Where do I add my submit? Submit. How did I add you in this magical thing? There's my grid. Are you within it? Oh, you're outside of it. Oh, cheeky devil. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do something right at the end for a submit button, aren't I? Okay, so form away. At the very end. Submit button. Okay, let's scroll up. Where are we? Repeating, select, getting started, check boxes. Do I need to build the submit button myself? Oh, so I still build the button myself. Okay. Now I'm getting you. So if you want the form to submit on enter, you still need to wrap it in a form tag and use wire submit. Okay, that I can handle that. I'm just going to grab this and we're going to copy it across. So here's this. So what we're going to want is we're going to want a form. This form. That's like some separate grid thingamajiggy. Gonna chuck that in there as well. Then we're gonna add a wire. Is it wire submit? I've not used LiveWire properly in a little while. We want to go to a submit. I've got it pre in there, don't I? Urgh. Look at the first example on the getting. I'm just skipping too much, aren't I? I'm just running away, getting all excited, getting started. Yeah. Why submit? Okay. This can live there. That can live there. That can go there. Bam. Pfft. Who needs instructions? Oh, what the heck did I just do? Oh wait, yeah. Oops. Multiple forms. That'll explain it. So. Got a nice little background in with what's it going on with that, which we can like turn off. Turn off that background. Yeah, that works. It kind of does its job for now. I mean, I just want it to work. Okay. So, read the manual. Never read the manual. What's the point of having like Ryan and Dan join me on stream if I'm going to read the manual? Just come on. Okay, so here's my categories. So if I write test, choose, test, test. Ooh, submit not found on the component. Perfect. What I wanted. I expected that. That is not an error that I wasn't expecting. Trust me on that one. So submit. So this is where I can validate as well, right? So this form, submit. That's currently going to do a void, but we'll see. Initializing forms, yep, cool. Got that bit, know what I'm doing there. Filling it with data, yep, get that. Getting data from the forms. Form gets state, cool. Registering a model. Yeah, I'm going to do that outside of what I'm doing. Registering a model class, field relationships, don't need right now. Using multiple, no, don't want multiple forms. So, validation. Okay, so I just kind of add it on onto here. So, I mean, so this does this auto validate, right? Do I need to call this validate? Aha, where has it? Does it not remember values? It does. Ooh. That's a bit funny, so I fill it in, or I just tell it to fail. I click that. At this point, it wipes it. It's wiping these. I do not understand what is going on. Might be something because I'm dying and dumping, but hopefully, you know, we can figure that out. So, in my controller, in my web controller, backend, posts, store, DD drops the values. On it. Got it. This is how I would do it in Blade. And I don't want to do it this way, but I do want to do it this way. LiveWire doesn't like double Ds. It's a LiveWire thing. It happens. Got to end. See you later, Has. So, I want to access a constructor at this point. So, public function construct. We're going to parent ID. Yeah, what you said. Later hasinator. So I want to access these within my component. Is it gonna completely complain? Yes. I can keep it the same. So LiveWire will inject dependencies into methods. Okay, so on my submit, I could literally inject this and this. Oh. So at this point, if I just die and dump on action, this should give me, oh, perfect, lovely. So I can literally do that. Basically just moving the logic. Bam. But request validated is not going to quite cut it. What I need is this form get state. Now why is that complaining? What? Where's that coming from? Oh. My bad. Redirect route. I'm going to get a redirect response back. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that this is a little bit nicer formatted. So this should, in theory, do its business. Cannot fails block its place. Okay, so make sure it wasn't actually created. Yeah, cool. Cool. Was it user ID I was added? I can't remember if I used user ID or just user, so we'll have user ID. See you later, Craig. Cheers for coming, buddy. Ah. So LiveWire is returning a redirector. So return. Let's go to LiveWire and let's redirecting. Return redirect. Okay, so use this redirect. So got it. It is working. The edit form will need to be done. That's cool. Haha. That has saved. That's perfect. Yes. Returning a redirect response too. My type hinting was wrong, was it? Let's have a look. So it complained though. That's what I didn't get. Yeah, return value must have been of type redirect. LiveWire redirector returned. What do we reckon it is? Apparently it's returning void. Let's just have a play. Yeah, that works. It works. I'm going to leave it at that. Otherwise I'm just chasing my tail, really. Okay. And what's the correct type hint for that? redirect response or redirector. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to type in it just yet. So that's the first part done. However, if we go to our tests, does it still work? Yep, perfect. Because all we're doing really is hitting an endpoint. We're not actually UI testing as such. What we're doing is making sure a form displays, and we're making sure that if we send the post data we're expecting, that it does in fact pass. Haven't done any sort of regression testing, or haven't done anything to do with like LiveWire testing yet. I'll do that once I kind of know how I'm going to use it. So, editing. Yeah, I'm just going to skip the type hinting if it's that much of an issue, to be honest. So that store controller is now never used. So if I come down to, not resources, but source, domain, root, web. This store, this post root here, is now actually not used at all. Yeah, it's not. Let's have a look. That last test will fail because it's not defined, which means that I need to refactor that test to use a LiveWire form now, which is fine. What I expected to have to do. So this store controller, I can delete. No longer required. Thank you very much. So let's just close all of those for now. Let's go look at our test. So let's have a look at our test for this. Publishing, create post. It shows a create form. Yes, it does. It can create a new post. No, it can't, because that's not how we want to do it anymore. So, LiveWire testing. Testing. LiveWire test component, set stuff and call it. I can live with that. So, instead of this, we're going to go LiveWire test. We're going to test a what do we call it? Oh, me and my naming conventions. What am I calling things today? Create form. So I need to set some values on this and submit it, basically, is what it's going to boil down to. So, things we know we need to set. Set. And we want to set the title to be pest PHP. We want to set the category to be category ID. We want to set the description to be pest PHP is awesome. Prove me wrong. Then we want to set content. Here be content, pirates and dragons. Then we want to call submit. Then we want to make sure that we now have one. If we're going to do it. Assert has no errors. Yeah, I'm going to be playing around with this. Okay, so the description. Assert has no errors. After submit. And expect that. So that means I can delete that. I can just set it as an array, can I? That is actually probably going to be a little bit easier and cleaner. So I'll just update the content because I like what I wrote. Let's see how that goes. Oh wait, I'm not even submitting. Call submit. Silly me. I mean, it's not on sale at the moment, LIveWire sale, because it seemed easier. Cool, and now we're fixed. We refactored. We're no longer using the controller. We're using the component, and all is good. Would you put assert has no errors after the call though, right? Yeah, I'm assuming that's what you should be doing as a assumption. So test this component, set some data, call it. I mean, I don't really need to set that variable there. I can just kind of go have an array. Why create all these temporary variables for no reason if I'm not going to be reiterating over them? There we go. Set, call, assert, expect, done. User is only used there, so I can also clean that up. Yeah, that's what I was assuming, but I wanted to check because, you know, I'm new to this shit. I mean, stuff. Grrr. Okay, so it's complaining about doing it in a certain way. That's strange. That is strange. User factory create auth login. Oh, silly me. Once I've created it, I've got a user, so I need to say. Apparently, I need to write a different language. Yeah, I might actually do something like that. It's probably a good idea. A refactor to acting as user. Yeah, I mean, I could do. I like to be declarative. I like to make sure I'm calling that action to auth login using. Just me. You know, that's one lot of assertions. This is different expectations of this one test case here. So, tests pass. Let's look at create post, update post test, new PHP file. I never actually wrote any tests for this. So, it shows the update form. So, So root get assert status assert we are HTTP OK. Assert C, right. Let's do the publishing ones. Okay, doesn't contain post title. Acting as is the documented way of authoring in a test, apparently. So I'm going to drop that for now. Will it work? And we're good. Here's my publishing tests. Got 3 tests we've been publishing and we're all good. Right, it shows the update form. Also takes an ooh, handy. I've not really dived that deep into it that recently, if I'm honest. I feel like I'm missing a trick here. So it can update a post. And this is where I do like to use data providers, to be honest, or data sets. And let me make sure that can't see it. Oh, that's pest PHP I need to look for. Get started. Not inline. Yeah, here's lowercase. Cool. I'm just going to create a new PHP file called strings. Yeah, we're good. Data set. There we go, update post. So we can say with strings, we're going to accept the string. Obviously we want to log in. Obviously we're going to want to create a post. And we're going to want to get LiveWire, test. We want to update form class. We want to set the title to the string. Then we want to call submit. So it has no errors. Expect post refresh title to equal string. Any reason for using a generator over an array of strings? No, just it was in the docs and it said, you know, as your tests grow, it will improve performance. So it's just something that I've adopted of just constantly using. Might not be right anymore. I'm not 100% sure. So I can create this update form. So import that with that. So now we're going to fail, which is fine. Class stir not found in found. Okay. Cool. Now I can work on this update component. Let's get the view looking a bit more right. So LiveWire, there's the update. There's a create form. So I'm just going to grab that. And I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's not really going to be doing huge performance. It's probably what you class as a micro optimization that probably isn't worth the time it takes to write. It's just a habit. You get into these things, I guess, don't you, as time goes on. Just kind of what you figure out you're going to end up doing, and then you just end up doing it, and it's like, why do I do it that way? And then you just kind of keep going, and you reassess it every now and then. So there's the update form. So probably form not found. I can live with that. That means I can come to posts and I can tell it to implement has forms. That means I can let me clean some of that up too. And I can say that it interacts with forms. And it's kind of got all of that, right? So filling data. Getting started. Filling forms with data. So in the mount method, so when I'm actually loading this, I should already have a post available, right? So when I'm coming over to my update form, public function mount, I can accept it as a parameter. This form fill. And right, so this form fill, and what we're going to do is have title all I really want. Well, actually, I'm going to add a public null string UID is null. I just need to look at create form and just displaying it the exact same way, I guess. So bang, done. Sweet. Oh, lovely. That's actually really nice. All I can say, Dan and Ryan, well played with this. It's turned out really nice. I've got a little bit of duplicate stuff, but that's nothing I can't handle. So, public function submit. This is what I need here. So, this is where I come over to my controllers, web, posts, update controller, and I've got the update post action. And then I've got the post factory contract again, which means that I can literally do this. Drop the this, drop the this. Okay. Here's the identifier. I'm going to drop that at the end because it's not as important. So the identifier is a post ID. So the attributes that we want to pass across is going to be this form state. This form get state, because that action itself, update post, just going to cast it to an array, and that is going to be here. I do need to pass through the user, so again, merge. I did mention this before, and we did work on this before. But I can't remember what I did, so I'm just going to skip it. I think it was Adrian who told me, who's on the stream site. Can't remember what we were doing. Pretty sure it's probably somewhere in here. Prepare for validation, but I'm not actually doing it that way anymore, so gonna have to mergey, and then just return a route back to the dashboard. So test article 1, 2, 3, save. Ooh. Select one from post limit 1. What is going on? Ugh, okay, so this is where perhaps things are going wrong. Needs to be a find, not first. Yeah, I can find or fail at that point, right? So update, find or fail. Cool. So what's failing? Component with errors, category description, content. Failed asserting that false is true. Failed asserting that false is true. Okay. Let's trim it back. Let's trim it back to the update form. We're getting to this public function submit. That's fine. And my action handle that, pass them through the identifier, and at that point it should have worked. So that is in theory working. So it must be something in my test. So feature, publishing, update post test, set title, string. Okay, I'm not saying anything else. So that is my problem. Now let's see. Fingers crossed something went well. Oh, okay, so something still died. Update post handle argument to identifier must be of type int null given in update form line 49. Okay, so I've got the post ID. Cool, so we've got the ID correct. We can drop that. Cast it to an integer quickly. Now let's have a look. Where could we possibly be failing? No results for model that. Okay. Run it again and see where we are. So it's getting a 0 coming through from the identifier for this update post. This update post contract in my post was my so you mean I need to actually set the model or something, right? There was something in the docs about that. So yeah, oops. Initializing forms, registering a model. So, public post. Drop that. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Let me just do a manual test. Over here. Cool. So yeah, in my post over here, test that. Thank you, Adrian. That worked well, thanks. Don't know what I was thinking. Been in way too many meetings today. That's what I'm blaming. Can't really blame it, really. So, we can update and we can post. We are still using our DDD aspects. Everything is still working quite nicely. The only thing we need to think about now is, well, they are no longer needed. Update requests are no longer needed. And if I come down to my domain, I can just clean out that domain as well. So that patch request is no longer needed. Which means that's just a couple of get requests to show specific pages. Index controller doesn't currently do anything because it's not really needed. So I could probably skip that. Create controller just loads a view. And a show controller loads a view as well. Doesn't do too much, so we're getting there. In terms of like just basics, it's kind of working, right? So our root list is now a lot simpler because our app posts is just 2 endpoints and the rest are components, which is perfect because we're going to be using the LiveWire message instead. So that is that part of it. Ooh, hiccups. I wonder if that works. Nope. Excellent, no violations. Hey wife, you've joined me. Yeah, we've got no violations. We've got some stuff going on. Okay, I can ignore that warning. So we've got no errors, no warnings, no violations, no skipped violations, 408 references allowed, and 51 things uncovered. That to me sounds pretty good. We're still using a very strict domains, and this is all working. So we have awesome DDD LiveWire magic. It's got a UID for internal reference. Obviously I haven't got a way to delete it yet. I need to create like maybe a delete button or do something on this view, like have an action up here to delete it or something. That I need to look at how we're going to work with that one. But I'm pretty happy. Everything is working. That happened a lot sooner than I expected. Oh, it's been one of those days. Fantastic. Okay, so what else could we do? What else have we got? So we can come back to here. Create new blog post. Users must be able to create new blog posts. This will go through a moderation workflow, so each of the posts can be assessed for spam and relevance. Okay, so to display this, what I'm going to do, my roots web down here, turn view welcome. I'm going to paginate on posts for now. Let's go to that welcome view. This is going to fail for most people. Like if you're not logged in, this will just die. I can just drop this. I mean, I need to do some stuff. So if I log out, that's just going to die. So we've got a welcome. Let's just grab a quick, like a blog list. Content. Blog sections. Any of these. This one. Code. Grab zips. We're just going to grab it and dump it for now. Make sure it displays correctly. Yep, we're looking good. Right, let's tidy this up a little bit. Plenty of those. So what we can do quickly is just there we go. We're just going to keep it like that for now. So what we're going to want to do, let's go to post. We've got our builder class, Or did we have our builder class? I didn't add a builder class. Next step. Let's go add that. Let's add our models. Builders. And create a post builder. Just going to extend the eloquent builder. Come back to look at post quickly. Down here. Return new post builder. Where the query is the query. Got that already. So return this where not null published at. So down here, post query published so now if I quickly open up a Tinker session, use app models post all I've got A published, so that's because I did it on the wrong bit. Sweet. So on our welcome now, what we can do is for else and for else empty. I have one. Perfect. So we've got test articles, things can load, come to the dashboard, to-date string on string. Data casting. That is on the dashboard. If published at. I'm going to drop that a second and see what happens. What did I do wrong? Publish that in the cast array. Is that it? Oh. Oh, typical. Right, so let's Hey Alex, how you doing, buddy? So, we've managed to add some LiveWire. We've managed to add filament. We've managed to refactor our test so that we're actually covering what we wanted to be covering, and everything's working. We've added more tests for the update. We can now use Markdown. So this is a heading. This isn't. And then if we go back to that home page, we got that. So we can't read the full story because we're not set it up yet. But we're getting things in place and things are starting to look right. So, yeah, Ben, good eyes. Good eyes on that one. So, let's go look at the first post and let's see where we are looking. So, that's fine. Not approved. Perfect. So, our next steps. What are our next steps? Add event sourcing to trigger flow. Add event sourcing to the post creation workflow to allow reactive adoration workflows. Add toggle on create post form for draft or submit. The create post form needs a toggle section so that you can choose if you want to submit this form as this form moderation or keep it as a draft. And saved. So we're going to want to do some event sourcing so we can trigger workflows, but we're also going to want to have that toggle as well. So once that toggle's there, we can decide whether we need to trigger that workflow. That will probably, yeah, that'll be done in the LiveWire component itself. So there'll be more refactoring around that one. So we could probably add that toggle today, right? Let's go look at filament. Filament. Is there any sort of like toggle or anything like that? Toggle. It's admin. toggling it. Toggling it. Right, okay. So let's just close all of these. And what I want to see next in my LiveWire create form. Kind of want it first, right? Toggle make. And this one is going to be... No, there's not been any discussions around revisions or approvals for edits. This is PHPOnline, so it's more kind of... If it gets rejected, there's going to be like a note attached to it. I'm going to look at what we can do. Maybe we could like add conversation and resolve a conversation style stuff going on, but at the same time, how much do we want there to be? I'm trying to make a MVP proof of concept so I can finally get something shipped. So toggle, what I want this to be is submit for moderation. The name for this is going to be moderation, and we're going to set that as a public bool false. Dashboard, create a new one. So I need to set the... I need to add this at the bottom. So then when we submit, up top here, we can die dump on this moderation. True. False. Perfect. So we know what to do at that point. So this action is then going to be moved off to an aggregate for me to then work with. So I think we'll be fine. It'll be interesting to see how the aggregate aspect all fits into the aggregate root, and everything all fits into domains with a new domain approach. So definitely a lot of fun to be had there, I think. So I think it's a little bit earlier than usual, but I'm going to call it there. I've achieved everything I wanted to do. We've used LiveWire, we've used Filament, we've tested it, we've tested it, it all looks wonderful. If I go too much further, I'm going to start going into what I wanted to do next time. You know, yeah, I've done that. I'll add that to review. This is create a new blog post. This is in progress. Event sourcing, currently in the backlog. Moving that to the to-do. So authorization, which is something I will do a little bit later. I'm going to look at user roles. Authentication. Users must be able to authenticate to log into the platform. Set initial role. On registration, users must be set their initial role. Simples. So that is in progress. And then this is going to be set initial role to do. Set initial role, event sourcing workflow. Nothing down here. Automatic approval, something I'll fix later. Moderation workflow is kind of a little bit of what we're doing next. But this is... nice if you could like add a parent. Mark as blocking moderation workflow. So if I close that now, moderation workflow, being blocked by event sourcing triggers for the moderation workflow, which is going to have its own subtasks. So this is why I really enjoy linear. It works really well. It allows me to be quite flexible in how I'm planning things, but at the same time it gives me lots of powerful little tools to really dive in. Obviously that's going to be assigned to myself. Always assigned to myself because I'm the only one on the project as it currently stands. So that's been done. This is mostly done. We've got event sourcing triggers for moderation, which aren't as important just yet. Creating a new blocker is almost done. That'll be setting a role. That's all fine. Authorization will also be part of the role as well. And then tags automatically. All of this stuff is stuff that we will work on. So this moderation workflow, I'm going to move this to the to-do because that's on the next stream. Oh no. Linear is amazing. You should definitely give it a go if you can. Keep trying, Nathan. Promise you won't regret it. So, with all of that said, I think I'm going to call it a day there. Had a long day. Had lots of meetings, lots of calls, lots of interviews today. Now it's time to go sit down with my wife and enjoy some relaxing time. So, description below, there is a Discord link. Feel free to join the Discord where we're not super active anymore, but we're kind of active. We're always chatting in the background about this, that, or the other. It's where I typically post about upcoming streams or ask questions about upcoming streams or past streams and openly talk about feedback and what I'm thinking about I'm going to be doing. So if you want to get involved, feel free. If not, then I guess I'll see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe so you can be notified of the next video when it's coming. And so that I know what you are enjoying, really, and it helps other people find what I'm creating. Yeah. Have I started my new role? Yes. Yes, I have. I have started with Current Classic a few weeks ago, and it is really fun. Keeping me so busy. So busy. Onboarding, hiring, putting together like coding guidelines, testing strategies, how we want to handle translations, just everything. I've been spending so much time on Notion, which is why I feel so tired. Notion can really drain you if you'd spend all day on it. But enough of that. Feel free to reach out to me on Twitter if you do have any other questions. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday. So have a good evening everyone, and good night. Thank you.